Welcome to our online Taggart chat. Now, you have just watched Bloodsport, where we saw Robbie Ross kind of spiral out of control, although he did have that snog with Jackie at last, hurrah. I think it was that lovely hairpiece she had. Now, tonight we're doing a special Taggart online chat with John Michie, and what I want you to do is log onto your computer and you can type into the column on the right hand side any questions at all you have for John, and we'll endeavour to get through as many as possible, so enjoy it and keep them coming. Now John, how are you?
Yes, great, Laura. Good to be here.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I've never
being in the live element.
It's very good. I'm liking the whole scenario here. It's nice.
Excellent. Well, we've got our first question for you, and it is from Kevin Haldane. He says, that was a brilliant episode for your character, John, which it was. What was it like to film?
Oh, drugs, sex, violence, drinking, women. Fantastic.
You loved it, didn't you?
Great. It's always good to do to get into the bad side of Robbie.
Yeah.
And then to make it believable that he's got a job to hold down as well. So it was a very interesting episode. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
And he has that lovable rogue, because we've seen that come out over the years, but now in the kind of most recent episodes we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of Robbie's character.
Well, yeah, you're getting into the addict side, the addiction side, which has been sort of growing over the years, and it's coming to a head now. And in the next episode, you really see him kind of going downhill. So it's very interesting to play. It'd be very interesting to see what is in store for Robbie if we do a new series, and where the writers will take his character.
Gosh, I know. Well, you've been an actor now for how many years? How many years have you been doing it?
Good Lord, 30.
Oh, my goodness. Don't look that old. We've got a question from Tom Reynolds that says, if you weren't an actor, what would you be doing for a living? I've heard you used to be a milkman. Is this true?
Was I? I've done a lot of things. Was I a milkman? No, I wasn't. No, I've never done that. I used to have a cleaning
Tom, where
job
did you get your info?
in a dairy. That's about as close as I ever got to bottles of milk.
Okay.
What would I? Well, I know what my mother would like me to have been, a doctor. But
every mother wants their son to be a doctor.
Yeah, but I think she'd be happy if I just got to play a doctor in a drama series. I think then she'll be that.
Get Casualty.
At least he's a yeah. I thought she'd be delighted if I was in Casualty. But I'm in Taggart, so there you go.
And you enjoy being an actor. You enjoy what you do.
Oh yeah, I love it, and I love playing this character, particularly Robbie. He's really interesting. He's got a lot of sides to him, and when the writers bring out different sides, it's just great fun, and I can have just great fun. I just love playing him. He's a really interesting character.
Yeah, he definitely is. Now we've got the next question from Graham from Greenock. John, you had a really interesting childhood. Can you tell us more about it?
My childhood? Well, I was born in Burma, as my dad worked for a Scottish bank over there, and then was brought up in Kenya until I was 12 years old.
Very exotic.
Yeah, that was pretty exotic. And then moved over to Scotland, Edinburgh, when I was 13. And then, was at school, well, actually not in Edinburgh, in Perthshire. And then I went off travelling to Australia for a while. And I worked my passage on a cargo boat out there. And I flew back. I saved up enough money by flogging paintings in Australia to fly back. I wasn't gonna go back on the cargo boat. That was hard.
Was that hard work? Harder than Taggart?
A lot harder than Taggart. Seriously hard work. Scraping out the rust from a cargo boat hold is one of the worst jobs I've ever done in my life. Yeah.
So you've been all over the world, but Robbie is a kind of epitome of like a gritty Glasgow cop. Where did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, I mean, when I got the job, it's like intimidating coming from Edinburgh. I think, how am I going to play this guy? And I did a lot of research with the police in Glasgow, and met a lot of the DIs when I first arrived, and just chatted to them and got to know them. And then Blythe's husband, Tom Forrest, also helped me out. When he was at Hamilton, I went down there, and they were an interesting bunch of guys. And thanks, guys, you really helped me. Yeah, so meeting the real thing, and then, dramatizing, just picking up things and dramatizing anything that's interesting. And of course, you help with the writing a lot. The writers they've done their research, so everyone does their research. You stick it all in a bowl, mix it about, out comes the character.
And you said there, obviously, you kind of spoke to policemen and stuff. How did they react to it? What do they think of Taggart? Is it generally kind of, do they enjoy it?
They do. They really enjoy it. And, I mean, it's not really a police procedural show.
Mm-hmm.
We don't concentrate on getting everything correct. I mean, if you're a DI, you're going to spend most of your time behind a computer. In reality, it's more like the detective constables and sergeants that go out on the street. But I mean, the policemen that I've spoken to just say that they think it's actually the essence of Taggart is very real. And a lot of, I live in London, and a lot of cops down there who sort of stop me in the street and stuff, and detectives and Holloway just say they absolutely love it. And they think that the feel of being a detective is very truthful, and it comes through. There's a veracity there that they respect, which is great for us,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Loopy Lou, lovely, interesting name. That was quite a snog with Jackie, and it was a long time coming. What was it like for you two to finally lock lips? The truth.
Well, it was great. It was great, but it was a very interesting scenario in that she was undercover. So in a way, the characters had an excuse. She had an excuse to snog me more because she wasn't Jackie, if you know what I mean.
She felt a bit wild with that hair.
Yes, that was why I loved
good,
that look. Wasn't it great? Very sexy. And because, she is undercover, then he has an excuse to go for it more as well. So there were all sorts of levels going on with that kiss, which I thought was very interesting. I also think it was quite funny too. There was a funny side to it at the end when Robbie's wanting a bit more and she walks off.
She was right up for it at the start, though.
Oh, yes.
She was egging you on.
It's been years and years and years.
How was it afterwards? Cooking. Were you laughing, or was it weird? Obviously, it's your job. But,
it's a job.
But you're good friends off camera and stuff like that. Was it quite funny afterwards?
Yeah, no, we had a good laugh. But yes, I mean, I'm sure Bly's kissed loads of men in her
in her career.
In her career,
let's get that clear.
Loads of, I mean, actors.
Yes,
as I have kissed loads of actresses in my career, and it's something that is part of the job, and you find a way of doing it that is easy and acceptable.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's hard.
Right, next question, moving on. Dale asks, what is your personal favourite episode? There's a lot to choose from.
Wow. Do you know, that is, get asked that, and it's a really difficult one, because, I mean, the series over the years are very different. I think this series is very different. Actually, the next one, the one next week is one of my favourites. And I really enjoyed tonight. I thought tonight's was great.
Tonight was great, and I was lucky enough to go behind the scenes of that one to the cage fight, which was fantastic. That set was incredible, and there was a real energy to it, and I think the whole look of Taggart is just fantastic just now.
We had an amazing production designer, Paul. I wish I could remember his name, because he's a rising star in the business and he's going off to do movies and stuff. But Paul did a fantastic job on this series. I also think, actually, the one last week, the children with Neve McIntosh in it, that was very different. It wasn't really Taggart. It kind of went into another area. It was very, very upsetting and emotional. I really enjoyed that.
Isn't it nice to see the progression throughout the years, because Taggart is such a loved thing, but most recently in the past few episodes we've really seen it kind of take on a different edge almost. It's almost stepped up a gear, I think.
It has. I mean, for a show to go on, I mean, it's 28 years now that Taggart has been going, and in order for any show to last that long, any drama to last that long, it has to be reinvented every now and then. So this year is the beginning of another reinvention, and it has become a bit grittier, a bit perhaps a bit darker, but there's also I think a bit more humour in it, which people love, that kind of Glasgow humour, and also it's shot very differently now. We shoot 2 cameras, a lot of Steadicam, and it's kind of lit differently, and there's a bit more colour in it as well, the clothes and stuff, for those people who are really into that kind of thing. So a lot of time was spent with Neville Kidd at the first episode. Neville Kidd was the director of photography, and then Alistair Walker, and they spent a lot of time kind of recreating the look of Taggart. And it's been very successful. And I love the police office. I think that's great. That kind of slightly kind of 70s retro look to it as well. It has, which I think works really well.
In Springburn, isn't it?
It's based in Springburn. Indeed it is.
No longer Maryhill.
No, but I mean it's not set in Springburn. The set's in Springburn, but yeah, the Maryhill thing is sort of we've kind of been slowly sort of. It's not really mentioned anymore. It's kind of, it's Strathclyde now, more kind of generic big Glasgow area.
Well, next question is from Rebecca. She says, I've got a question. What's the best thing about being in Taggart? Pretty rubbish question, but that's all I could think of. Oh, but she says, tell John I said hi.
Oh.
I don't think it's a rubbish question, Rebecca.
Not at all. Well, one of the great things for me is to come back to Scotland. That's pretty nice. I think what I really love about this show is the three of us. There are three of us kind of leading it. So you don't have the huge responsibility of carrying a whole show, which can be really draining, and it's very sort of hard work. It's hard work, but it's fun, and we have, I can rely on Blythe and Alex, and they can rely on me when things are getting tough, and we carry the show together. And I think that's one of the things that the three of us together, that I really enjoy, and I really enjoyed working with Colin McCready as well. And it's a shame he's not in the show anymore, but things change. But
I think that really comes across on screen, though, that you all get on so well, and I think that makes it more believable. I think you see that.
Yes. It's a pretty low-key show, Taggart. We don't all sort of fanny around in big trailers and stuff and sort of play the TV stars. We just get on with it. And,
you sleep in your trailer, says Blythe. Apparently.
Do you mean like because I can't afford anywhere else to stay?
No, I don't.
Or not overnight?
No, she says that you're resting between scenes.
Oh yes, no, I could. Yeah, I mean, I can sleep anywhere. I once fell asleep when I was having my tooth drilled. I promise you, the dentist had to wake me up.
Nice.
Yeah, I like to have a good kip, especially after lunch. When you're on location, you have a big lunch. We have great caterers on Taggart, and after one of those, it's like you get 1 hour for lunch. So I spend 20 minutes eating, 20 minutes or 30 minutes sleeping, and then 10 minutes waking myself up to carry on with my work. Love to sleep.
Sounds like a good plan, I think.
Yeah, Blythe's got too much energy to sleep.
Oh, I know.
I think it's just jealousy. She's jealous of my sleeping.
She might come and cuddle up with me.
Alex and I, she might. Alex and I both just go bong.
Well, she said he likes to play the guitar or the banjo or something.
Yeah, not when I'm sleeping. He doesn't.
You won't let him.